and Vandever, the area as a whole near the Big Lick School, those are going to be places that kind of in the next 20 minutes you want to keep a bit of an eye on as we see the system kind of move its way on through. We look at Lake Tonsi, we look at Linery, and things are otherwise looking, those are the areas that you want to get there within the next half hour or so. I'm continuing to keep an eye on what we have happening with the National Weather Service at Morristown, and so far there haven't been any newer updates as of late. This tornado warning that you're seeing right here on your screen, that is out of the National Weather Service at Nashville. There haven't been any grand updates out of the office right there as of late either. Really, up until this point where we started seeing the severe weather, a lot of what we were focused on was that rainfall. So I'm going to move it back on into kind of the greater area on the outside, and you're seeing all the activity that's beginning to pull its way in. But what you're looking at right now is your sweeping radar. If we switch over into a more simple satellite radar, you'll be able to see how much more rainfall activity is kind of awaiting us as we look on the back end of this system. So right now, the Nashville area is just becoming clear of that rainfall. So all of these counties along the plateau in between Nashville and Knoxville are the places that are getting more of that heavy rainfall, with that leading line, again, that's now moving directly into Scott County, Morgan, through Cumberland, and into Bledsoe, Ray, Meigs as well. That little tornado warning that we see there going into Cumberland County, again, the reason that we are live on the air in this particular moment. As I look over some of the information that I'm getting here from the National Weather Service at Nashville, it looks like they may have just mentioned that the circulation on their radar is outside of the warning area, so they may be canceling their side of it soon. We actually, yep, there it goes, disappeared. So now we're actually starting to see, again, a loosening of that rotation. I was mentioning earlier, it is starting to get a lot weaker. We'll take a second to kind of keep an eye on whether the National Service at Morristown may decide to continue that. But if I look across that area yet again, I'm really thinking this is going to be a bit of a jump cut here. Yeah, it's really, although it is kind of between those two radars, again, it doesn't look like that rotation is necessarily holding as strong. Things do look like they have dissipated just a bit with that system as a whole. So that is actually some good news. Otherwise, we just have these severe thunderstorm warnings. We're going to continue to keep an eye on that rainfall as it slides its way on into the valley. Be sure to stay safe, keep your alerts on, and we'll continue to keep you updated on WBIR Plus and social media. Hey there, East Tennessee meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst here. I've got your satellite radar up here behind me and they're on your screens as well. Just here to give you an update on terms of what we are seeing here on your satellite radar. Now, we do have some of that stormy activity that is beginning to roll in. I've seen a couple of you guys' comments on Facebook. I know there was some thunder and lightning there in Lindor City. We're hearing that activity in parts of Cumberland, Morgan, Scott, Campbell, even down to the south in McMinn and a bit of Loudoun County as well. But in terms of any severe weather, things are actually on the calmer end. Now, we are still looking, and there we go. There was the singular severe thunderstorm warning that we were looking, including just a little bit of Ray County in particular, and that has just expired. There is still one more as we look down way towards the south, as we look towards a bit of Meigs County. You can see just that little sliver of the area that is a part of that severe thunderstorm warning. Both of those going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts in particular. Otherwise, things are actually on the calmer end. We still are seeing just a lot of that heaviest activity and flood impacts, especially as we look across many of our northern counties. Lots of lightning here, as you can see, again, from McMinn County and all the way up into Scott County as well. This is where a lot of those heavier downpours are. As we get through the rest of your nighttime, we're going to watch this system weaken as it passes its way on through. So sliding into the valley within the next maybe hour or so and continuing to pull its way on towards the east. And as we're getting the show started at about 6 o'clock and continuing into 7, we should see that activity actually moving out of the way. But cold air is going to sink in, and that's where some of our higher elevations do have the opportunity of seeing a couple of flurries, seeing some light snow. In terms of roads and impacts there, I'm not expecting super high accumulations simply because we've looked at a lot of rain. We've had a lot of moisture on the ground as of late, and it's been relatively warm. But again, on grassy surfaces, that's where we could start to see some of those light accumulations. Until then, we got very gusty winds that we are seeing around the area, upwards of 50 miles per hour as we look towards Maryville. Looks like they're down to about 47, but 50 in Tellico Plains. All that red there that you see in is going above that 50-mile-per-hour range. We're looking at a wind advisory that's picked up into the area where we're seeing those wind gusts that can get up to 45 plus miles per hour and the high wind warning that can go up to 70 miles per hour. Now, I'm looking at my alerts and I'm seeing that there is a new flash flood warning that we got in Scott and Morgan County in particular. See if we can get a visual on that in just a little bit. I'll kind of switch over into my warnings in particular. I believe I do have one that is going to be specifically for a flash flood warning. Well, regardless, what I got here is this warning that we see kind of across this area in particular. We already know about the severe thunderstorm warning and the high wind warning. We want to focus on this flash flood warning in particular. This is an area that has seen a lot of rain, and that's going to be going until 6 a.m. Oh, okay, apparently until 8 a.m. Looks like maybe there's a bit of a difference there. Regardless, we're going to be seeing, again, a lot of rainfall that has fallen in that area. We're still looking at another maybe inch plus of rainfall in a spot that's already seen anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain just coming off of yesterday. That's something I can show you here with this map. Your observed rainfall is going to zoom back out, maybe be a little bit of a jump. But a lot of rain has fallen in these areas. We looked since Monday, and we have areas that have seen up to 7 inches, especially as we look across that Tennessee-Kentucky line. And that's especially why they saw so many flash flood warnings today, and they're going to continue to worry about flooding as we get through the rest of this event. One thing I do want to let you know about is a new thing that we've been trying out. I saw a couple of comments of you guys saying that you could hear anything, and that's because there was actually nothing to hear. So something that we're trying is letting the radar loop run for a little bit. It's especially going to be debuting on our streaming. We know a lot of people like to keep up to date with the radar and things that are going on. And while things are relatively calm compared to more severe weather, I'll just kind of hop in every 15 to 20 minutes or so, give you guys an update on what we're seeing, any new reports or pictures or things of that nature. And until then, you can continue to watch the radar at your own leisure or continue to check out other things on our website. We've got an article with all other types of information that you need to know for this system, in particular with the rain, the wind, and everything else. So continue to stay safe. If you have any questions, send them in. We'll continue to answer them. If you have any pictures from a safe spot, send those in too. We love to share it with the rest of the group and keep everybody as a whole informed and safe. Hey there, East Tennessee. If you're up with us, good morning to you. Hopefully you'll be able to go back to bed with some of the news that I'll share with you, because while we do have some of these storms rolling through, we do have some gusty winds, we are not seeing grand opportunities or anything on your radar that is indicative of severe weather. So definitely some heavy rainfall that's moving through. I'm sure many people, especially as we look into the valley, have heard some of that lightning, or heard the thunder, maybe seen the lightning, definitely heard the rain kind of coming down on the windows, on the cars, things of that nature. We even heard it here at the station, some of that rainfall coming down here on the ceiling. So heavier rainfall now starting to move its way on in. We move over into your sweeping radar just to kind of really hone in on some of that rainfall that we're seeing. This pretty strong streak here going to just the north of Campbell County down in towards Anderson, through Lenore City, Sweetwater. So that seems to be a relatively heavy streak right now, but in general, more of that good rainfall starting to work its way on into the valley. In addition to that, we are definitely seeing some gusty winds. I know a lot of people were saying that in comments of the stream that I was checking over on Facebook. 50-mile-per-hour gusts as we look into Tellico Plains, Maryville, 45, and Pigeon Forge. And so all those areas that are right there along the foothills are definitely going to see some of those gustier winds kind of at the base of this mountain wave wind event. And that's the reason that we have the wind advisory in place. And actually, there was an edit made to it. So the wind advisory is now for wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour, which of course we have seen come true. High wind warning also in effect for gusts up to 70 miles per hour, and that is also going to be ending at noon on Sunday. But I have some good news. If you've been watching during some of the earlier streams over the past maybe hour or so since we have been starting to do this, you'll notice that the tornado watch is gone. So a new update is that the tornado watch was taken away from Bradley, Hamilton, Marion, and Saskatchewan counties, and so now the tornado watch is only in the state of Georgia at this point. That is still going to be going until 9 a.m. But now we are actually somewhat clearer of that risk. It was something that we were starting to see as we got closer to the event through today or Saturday, that we here in parts of East Tennessee, especially as you look further up into the Central Valley and Upper East Tennessee, did not have the same level of instability as areas did over into our west. It was part of the reason that the Storm Prediction Center cuts a lot of those areas out of the level 1 marginal risk in the first place. So that is still some great news. We've been able to let go of the tornado watch. I know a lot of people have been anxious about that opportunity. I would say that you can definitely go to sleep safely. Still keep your eye on, keep your alerts on, but if something in particular is going to be coming to your area, that's where those alerts will really kick in, because those will come on so that you can know specifically when things are going to be impacting you in your area. But in the meantime, we're still going to be worried about all the rainfall that is rolling in. Flood watch in effect again, also until noon on your Sunday, because we're adding in a lot of rainfall on top of what we have already seen. Some places upwards of 6+ inches, especially as we look towards the north, parts of Scott County, Campbell County. I know we've been talking about some flooding in Oneida, and that's actually the region in particular that we see the flash flood warning in. So that's one of the things that we have continued to have our eye on. I wonder if I can turn on some of these warnings for a second and move some of this rainfall out of the way, just to kind of focus on everything that we've got going on. In particular, as we look across kind of this northern plateau region. So they've already seen upwards of 2+ inches of rainfall just today from a rainfall that they were seeing this morning. And so now there is definitely some flash flooding across the creeks and the streams, urban areas, highways, and I've even seen as we move over towards Virginia that there has been, and look at that, a new flash flood warning that we're now seeing, including parts of Campbell County as well, for pretty much the same reason. A lot of rainfall that we've gotten since today. They're looking at upwards of another inch with this event that we are seeing as we speak. And so that, I believe, is likely going to be going towards a relatively similar time. I'd assume maybe about 6 a.m., 7 a.m. So a little bit later, again, same reasons. Threatening flash flooding of the creeks, the streams, the urban areas, highway streets, and those underpasses as well. So any low-lying areas that you are aware of in parts of northern Anderson County, Campbell County, northwestern Claiborne County, and even western Union County, you want to be especially careful of those areas. Please be especially careful. Thankfully, I know it's pretty late, not too many people on the road, so if things are safe at the house, that is definitely some great news. And, just be aware of everything that's going to be happening here in your area. Move on back to what we're looking at across the region. We are, again, going to be adding upwards of another inch of rainfall. You're seeing lower totals to the west, simply because that rainfall for a lot of them has already fallen. Quick glance over your futurecast. You're going to see, again, this continue to kind of open up. That's a sign of the system weakening as it pulls over into the east, and a lot of that rainfall will continue to move out of our way as we get our show started at 6 a.m. Colder air comes in on the back end, and that's when we have the opportunity for some light snowfall that will fall across our high elevations as temperatures drop throughout your Sunday. I'm thinking that roads and kind of harder surfaces are still going to be a tad bit warmer. Your grassier surfaces that get a bit colder, I think those would be the places that we could see some light accumulations, but pretty much all my models have agreed that it would definitely be under an inch, frankly, if not half an inch or less. So definitely not a huge event that we're seeing here. So weather impact for your Saturday into your Sunday. And this again, I mean, at this point, this is your Sunday morning now. But so we're going to continue to see conditions calm down from this point. Looks like my models are now understanding that we are into your Sunday daytime. Monday is not going to be an impact day. That's just something I need to fix up there. We'll continue to see good conditions here. I'll give you one last look here at your satellite radar. And we are going to be continuing this stream over on WBIR Plus and on our website. If you want to continue to keep an eye on this, we're going to keep looping the radar and other information that you need to know. Otherwise, we're going to be taking the stream down from Facebook just because we don't want people to think that there's something particularly dangerous at the moment. If there is, we'll be back to let you know. So have a safe night, sleep well, and we'll continue to be back with updates.